Hey guys, how's it going? Eminem Gaming here, and today we're back with another video. And today we're going to be talking about Uncharted 4, the new gameplay that was out there. I'd love to put it in the background, but again, I'm doing this on my PS4, so there's not really a way I can do that. But obviously, go check it out. Go watch it. I watched a leak source of it, but by the time this video's up, it's already in the public eye, so go make sure you watch it. To anyone who's worried about spoilers and all that sort of stuff, no spoilers in that video, so obviously no spoilers in this video, so don't worry about that. There's a little brief history about the historical figure in the game, but there's literally no story spoilers or anything of that sort of stuff. But it's just genuinely amazing, I thought, the game, so let's talk about it. So you start off on your cutscene. You got Nate, Sam, and Sully all together, just talking about it, like trying to find where they are. They're trying to look on their phone for like directions, but then Nate comes out with a map, and I just thought it was really cool. Obviously moving on, more into a digital age. I thought that was pretty cool. That saying, look, this is reliable, the map, not the phone. Do you know what I mean? I thought that was pretty funny. So yeah, they're just talking. The thing I noticed was, like on the map, the level of detail on it. In the car, the level of detail. The characters' faces, I've said this many a time, but the most realistic looking characters I've ever seen. And then you've got, in the car, like the dials and the timer and, all that sort of stuff. I thought was really, really cool. That level of detail was amazing. And yeah, I mean, they really have outdone themselves, in my opinion. The next thing I saw was you've got they start driving. What surprised me about this when they start driving was I thought it was still a cutscene. You know what I mean? That's how good it looked because, I could not tell the gameplay from the cutscene, and that shows that's a really good sign that you can't tell the difference. That's just an amazing sign. And yeah, it had that in the game. I was waiting for him to start driving. I was like, oh, when's the gameplay going to start? And it already had, you know what I mean? It was crazy. But yeah, such a beautiful game. Honestly, the rays that come down and shine off the car and all that sort of stuff, amazing. The ground and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, the next thing was open spaces to explore. Now, obviously, this is not an open world game, but it felt like it, and that's weird because this is Uncharted, and this is not The Witcher or anything. But yeah, so you're in the car, and there's always, I've noticed, like 2 or 3 different areas that you can go to. Like, let's just say, because you've got to get from point A to point B, but there's many different branching paths to get there. There's always like 2 or 3 different roads to explore. And even if you go straight, you can always back around and go look over the cliffs, and you can do that. So I thought that was amazing, the amount of just space to explore. And I don't think they were overstating it when they said 10 times larger. If anything, it could be more, and that's crazy. But yeah, the next bit, you can actually, and this was really surprising, you can actually go and explore ruins in the game. So Nate was driving, they were just talking, and then he just says, look, there's ruins over there, and you can stop the car, get out, and go explore them, for obviously the collectibles, and all that sort of stuff. I thought that was amazing, like, that really, like, that's never, I haven't seen that done, obviously, there hasn't really been that many driving scenes in Uncharted games, but yeah, I thought that was really cool. So yeah, there's going to be different ruins to explore, and that's awesome. When you see an object, like the ruins, for example, you can actually, I think there's like different dialogue options as well, that you can choose to, you can talk about it, like, oh, I'm going to get out or whatever, and check that or whatever, and that was really cool to see. Different dialogue, because it reminded me of The Last of Us, when you see like the firefly thing at the university, and you can say, hey, yeah, talk about it with Ellie. That was really cool. So the collectibles, are better hidden, so you have to like kind of climb up areas and go into the ruins, and it's they're a little bit better hidden. And I think there's going to be a lot more of these collectibles in the game. Now, some people don't like collectibles, especially when you're trying to get that platinum, because you've got to get them all. I love them. I do love collectibles. Obviously, I don't find them on my own. I use a guide. But I love collectibles because it gives me a full story, especially in Naughty Dog games, because there's always like a little interesting one. There's always a Jack and Daxter precursor orb, and there's always, I love the collectibles in Naughty Dog games, and yeah, it's going to be really cool to get them all. I can't wait. So detail on the ground. So when you're driving through the mud, you leave tracks, and I thought that was really cool, and they kind of stay there even when you turn back around, and all that sort of stuff. The water, I love the when you're driving through the water, the way it ripples and everything. The ground, the mud, it actually feels like you're driving. Even though I weren't playing, like it looked, and it definitely looks like it's going to feel like you're driving in that game, which is awesome. The next thing was secret caves. Now, this was really surprising, and I almost got like a Tomb Raider vibe, because you start driving and you go through this sort of waterfall thing, and you're in this like massive cave, and you get out and you're exploring. I thought that was cool. Reminded me very much of Tomb Raider, but yeah, I mean that's awesome, and definitely. I wonder if how many tombs, or not tombs, sorry, how many caves and sort of stuff like that, or even in like areas where there's not caves, like different sort of stuff, how many secret areas there are. That's going to be awesome to see. You can use the rope for puzzles, so he needed a box to kind of get on top of the thing to get a collectible and a note, and he literally uses his rope to pull it down, and then he uses the rope again to pull it in the direction he wants. This is Nate, and I thought that was really awesome, that this rope's actually going to be used for something. Sometimes they put these little gimmicks or whatever, not so much Naughty Dog, but just in games in general, they put these little gimmicks in, and they, you know what I mean, like what, why? But obviously this actually has a use, and that's cool to me. The next thing was other characters will actually continue to talk while you're exploring, so like it's not just complete and utter silence while you go into somewhere. Sam and Sully are actually talking the whole time, having like banter between the two, and I love that because the character development, between the two, you're starting to learn a little bit more about them. I always feel like you learn a little bit more about the story whenever stuff like that happens, so that's cool to me. So yeah, that's awesome. Notes in the game. Now, no Uncharted game, as far as I'm aware, used notes. Now, obviously there was collectibles, but there was never like notes from other, obviously NPCs or whatever. But like they had that in this game, and The Last of Us had some awesome notes and some really, touching, heartfelt notes in that game. So yeah, I think I put brackets like The Last of Us because that's what it reminded me of. And you can like flip the page over and you keep it in your diary. So I thought that was really cool, a nice little touch. The next thing, obviously, you get out of the cave. The car controls differently in different environments. So when you're going through water or like wet, muddy like areas, the car will actually kind of like drift when you turn, which is really cool. So it handles differently. So it's it's not just they haven't just put these cars in. It's genuinely like put a lot of detail on them. So that's also awesome. He tries to go up a hill. This is the next point. Goes up a hill. The car slows down, and it sounds like it's like careful you don't floor it. Get stuck in the mud or whatever. I thought that was awesome. I just thought, the realism. Like you're not just driving straight up the hill. No, you have to be careful and go on the rocks and sort of stuff like that. So that was awesome. So Nate gets out the car, he's just crossed the bridge that kind of almost breaks, and he goes in the water, and then you see his clothes get wet. He comes out. While he's going through the water, it gets a little bit high, so he's kind of like moving real slow. I just love the level of detail. That's all I can say about this game. Level of detail, incredible to me anyway. And yeah, I mean, just like the way he moved and everything was awesome. Um, Characters will react like NPCs, so like Sully and Sam will actually react when the car like kind of goes on different environments. So like, just say you're on a bumpy area, they'll talk about it and they'll say, oh, like, be careful or whatever. And if you crash, they also talk as well. It's not just like ow or whatever. No, they have like witty remarks and stuff. So I thought that was cool. Yeah. Now you get to the next area. There's like a watchtower or whatever, and you walk in, and there's like a massive symbol on the floor. And then Nate starts to note it down and like write about it in his journal. So I'm thinking this is another collectible, which is like going to be in the game, which is going to have just like, because they kind of like talk about it, and obviously I don't know the story, so but it just basically says, yeah, oh well, this might be here because of this reason. So that's gonna definitely play a part into getting the full story. I like anyway to get the full story. But yeah, you note it down and it's in your diary, so that's going to be awesome. How many of them there are, how many watchtowers there are, or whatever. So yeah. Then the next thing. Now this was awesome. Like, this was just straight up awesome. I was just blown away when I saw this, because I was like, what the hell? Do you know what I mean? Like, so there's a massive hill. There's no way getting up it. It's wet. It's slippery. You're not getting up. It's like steep. So what Nate does is he gets the car wrench on the front of the car and ties it round a tree. But it's not just like an automatic action, like you just press triangle. No, you literally have to walk around the tree and then come back to tie it on, and then it tightens up. I just thought that was awesome. Now, some people will see that like, who cares? A lot of the stuff in this video, people are going to be like, Matt, who cares? Do you know what I'm saying? But I care. I care about the detail, and that was amazing. To me, that was amazing when I saw that. I was like, what the hell? Do you know what I mean? This is Uncharted. Do you know what I mean? I'm not talking about like an open world game or, a car racing game. We're talking about Uncharted here. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, that to me was crazy anyway. But, yeah, let's get on to the next part. Character development and storytelling while you're driving. Now, that's one thing when you do have these open world games. There's a lot of silence. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, they have to put music on or something. There's a lot of silence. There's always talking, and what Sully and Sam do a lot. Obviously, Nate's, driving or whatever. But what they do is they talk about, themselves. They talk about their past. Sully's talking about how he used to be in like the Navy or whatever, and Sam's talking about the historical part of the characters, like saying, oh well, they may have come here for this reason or that reason, and they may have done this or whatever. I thought that was really cool, and it's definitely going to be one of those games where you're going to want the second, third, or maybe even fourth playthrough to get everything. Just like The Last of Us, I beat 10 times, and I swear every time I felt like I learned something new about the game, whether it be a character animation, a different way to get through an area, just all that sort of stuff, and I can see this being very similar. So now you get into a environment where there's, enemies. There's enemies now, so this is the first area right at the end of the demo where there's actual combat. So straight away you roll into long grass. Now that shows to me that this is going to be a very more stealthful game, and I'm guessing you can play this game in other ways, so there'll be like the run and gun, just go in, shoot everyone. There'll be a way to take out everyone silently, so that's definitely awesome. I love stealth games a lot, like third-person stealth shooters, like The Last of Us. Basically, I love The Last of Us. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I really like that. I really like the stealth part of the game. So yeah, the next thing I noticed, and was really new to, I guess to me anyway, was that you can actually mark people in this game. So you aim with your gun. Let's just say you see a guy in the background. He obviously can't see you, but you aim at him, and it will put a little marker on his head so you can kind of know where he is. Um, just awesome. Do you know what I'm saying? Just really awesome to see. You know, evolution of the game. You know, basically everyone would have bought Uncharted if it was the same, but I just love the fact that I actually, you know, are improving it. You know, but yeah, I thought there was a little bit smarter AI as well. You know, in my opinion, when I saw that the AI, the way they moved, you know, moved in different sort of ways. Maybe it was just me. I just thought that the AI was a little bit smarter than previous Uncharted games, but that's my opinion. Be interesting to see when the full games comes out. Now, there's a detection meter. Now, I'm not sure if this is just because you marked them or this will be all the time. But, so Nate goes to knock him out. He's on the ledge hanging. He knocks him out like stealthily. But obviously, he's just seen someone coming at him to punch him. And it goes yellow above his head. So, I don't know if that's just because he kind of marked him or what. But that's going to be very interesting for me personally to see. You know, is that in the game? Is that always there, or do you have to mark someone? It's just going to be interesting to see, you know, what happens. Friends can help you. I put well NPCs or whatever. You know, they can help you. So Nate jumps off this building after taking a few out, and this guy grabs him, and gets him like in a headlock. Obviously, we saw this from the E3 demo, but it's just shown again, I guess. You know, Sully, you know, punches him and gets him off you, so you can attack him, and I think that's really cool. And they took that from actually The Last of Us. You know, remember, you know, in The Last of Us, when you would get attacked by an enemy or grabbed by a clicker or whatever, Ellie could stab him or, you know, shoot him or whatever. And I think I really like that fact that you're screwed if, you know, you're on your own. You actually have a little bit of help. So yeah, really cool. And the final thing, yes, there's been about 25 parts on this thing, but bear that in mind. It is going to always be a long video when we have a long Uncharted video. Always going to be long, but the graphics are just goddamn insane. I just couldn't believe what I was seeing, you know, in that game. You know, couldn't tell the difference between cutscenes and in-game. You know, that was crazy for one. And then you got on top of that. The god rays that they call them god rays, you know, when like you got like rays coming off the water, you know, coming off the car, the way that, you know, that they look in different lighting. I was just really blown away. I'm going to say it, this is the best looking game I have ever seen. Hands down the best ever game. You know, the Order is very good looking, but it didn't have any exploration to it. It didn't really have anything of that sort of caliber to it. This looks like the Order, but better, in my opinion. But this has been the video, guys. I hope you've enjoyed it. I know I've rambled on, you know, I've been going on for a while, but I had to talk about this stuff. Now, before I get out of it, I'm just going to say this, and you can quote me on this video when I give it a 3 out of 10 or whatever, but this is going to get, this for me is, I'm going to say it, this could beat The Last of Us as my favourite game of all time, and that's a big ask. The Last of Us I beat 10 times, I platinumed it twice, I got 100% trophies, all the DLC, all the online. I loved it. It was an amazing experience. This could be better. I think, you know, I love the Uncharted story. It's a little bit more light-hearted. It has that jokiness to it. But I just think, you know, the level of detail, again, I'm a big detail freak. I love the detail. And yeah, I think this is going to be it. I think this is going to be my game of the year, no doubt. Like, I know you might say, well, there's no surprise now when Game of the Year comes around, but like, it's just so amazing. Well, you know what I'm saying? Like, this game has blown me away. Like, the only game that possibly has a chance, and this is a big, I guess, a big sort of shout out to this game, is Final Fantasy 15. I think that has a chance, but I'm going to say it, guys. This is my game of the year, 2016. Like, unless something horrible, the game's broken at launch, the multiplayer don't work. If that happens, I'm going to talk about it because I'll be annoyed. But yeah, guys, I think this is definitely going to be my game of the year, no doubt. Beautiful, amazing, and May 10th cannot come soon enough. You know what I mean? I really am. It's really dry in these streets. Gaming streets. Dark Souls 3 is coming very soon, but it's not soon enough. Ratchet and Clank, yeah, it's going to be amazing. It's going to be great, beautiful. I just want Uncharted, for Christ's sake. Do you know what I mean? Like, if this gets delayed again, I don't know what I'm going to do. I might, just forget this. But I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. I'm fanboying a little bit, but I'm honest about it. One thing you have to respect, you know what I mean? I may be a fanboy, but I'm honest about it. But I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you're not already subscribed, if you like these sort of videos or my Let's Plays or anything. But yeah, guys, let me know obviously what you think about Uncharted. Are you as excited to me as me? Have you seen the gameplay? Are you worried about spoilers? If so, don't worry about spoilers because I didn't notice anything. And yeah, May 10th, hurry up for Christ's sake, because I just want that collector's edition. I want to get the platinum. But yeah, I'll catch you guys in a new video very soon.